Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Little Hut podcast by Brown, that damn Brown on Cleveland inside the hut. Why? Because the Little Hut may be a tad bit hot tonight, or maybe not. My name is, you know me, Kimberly F. Brown, that damn Brown on Cleveland. And tonight I got my Shirley Chisholm shirt on, unbossed and unbought. And I know that I was supposed to wear my other t shirt, but tonight it is only fitting that I shake my pom poms, shake my pom poms, shake my pom poms, damn it, for Shirley Chisholm. All right, let's get the business out of the way. Don't forget that if you're looking for a single home, commercial property, duplex, new development, whatever your need may be, call Aletha Johnson of Dream Team Realty at 216-375-3681. And don't forget about New Beginnings 1111 Creations for all of your campaign needs, especially your campaign t shirts, hoodies, jackets, tumblers, cups, mugs, team uniforms, everything, anything that you need. Call Angie Marie right now. She's standing by at 216-395-7335. And of course, they tell me that every time I mention Mayor Matt Burke's name, his enemies, they cringe. Not my fault. Friday Night Podcast is also brought to you by the re-election team of Matt Burke for mayor for the city of Garfield Heights. Brown, that damn, yeah, Brown on Cleveland. Also, I was not going to talk about messy Maple Heights tonight. So let me just say this. I just received a phone call about 4 minutes ago telling me that somebody took down our banner. Somebody took down one of our banners. And that's effing messed up. That's so messed up. First, I wasn't going to talk about this, but you break our poles. You're cutting our zip ties. I said I wasn't even going to bring it up, but this is the mess that's going on in Maple Heights. I'm going to say this: run your damn race. Y'all ought to be concerned about that garage, the cover up, and the possible corruption that went on. And it's a shame that you got grown people out here having a temper tantrum, spending your money, run your race, do what you need to do, leave their stuff alone. Now, woo, tomorrow's gonna be pretty freaking interesting when I go through that city and I see that you guys then took down our banners. And the reality is this: it's only one other team, and that team belonged to Annette Blackwell. Why don't y'all run your race? You guys are so unqualified. And you sitting up here mad because this team got banners? Man, let me tell you something. Y'all some sick cookies, just sick. It doesn't make sense. Y'all should be concerned about running a financial audit on y'all city, because I'm very interested now to understand about y'all money, and more money. But to take down a banners, are y'all freaking kidding me? So this is what y'all doing tonight? Why don't y'all learn what's right? Go read a book. Go knit a sweater. Do what you need to do. But that's a darn shame. I just got a call 4 minutes ago telling me y'all done took down a banner. Yeah, okay. Brown on Cleveland. And y'all want to talk about integrity? Y'all want to talk about being progressive? Y'all want to talk about, throw out the trash? I know what trash you trying to throw out. Unfreaking believable. Grown ass people, damn near 100 years old, having temper tantrums. Run your race. I'm so sick of these people. I'm sick of them. I'm so sick of that messy city. I'm so sick of them. And I believe this, you got to start at the top. Get rid of the mayor and all them minions up under her. Maybe y'all can get y'all city back on track. out there taking down banners, kicking signs, messing up polls. People spend their money. They spend their money. Campaigns make me sick. Grow up. Grow up. Messy Maple Heights. Y'all here messing up garages, banging into garages, covering up for your friends. Then you're going down to the Pride Parade. You're smiling. You're joking. You think this stuff is funny. People's lives are at stake, you guys. And y'all still don't get it. Get rid of them bums. Every last one of them. And yes, Kimberly Brown is saying it. Not my clients, but Kimberly Brown. Make no damn sense. Out there taking down somebody's banner. Man, I wish I found out which one of you jokers are doing it. Yeah, I got a good idea. I got a real good idea. But tonight, let me apologize. That got me hot up under the collar right now. That's crazy. But what do you expect from childish, immature individuals who don't know nothing? I shouldn't even be upset about it. Because that's just what they do. Fools full of foolery. Now, let me get to the subject at hand tonight. Tonight's topic is about Cleveland Ward 1. Cleveland Ward 1. So this is not for people who live outside of Cleveland Ward 1. This is about Cleveland Ward 1. And my question to Cleveland Ward 1 candidates tonight is simple. What have you done in this neighborhood and this community to warrant you a seat at 601 Lakeside, downtown Cleveland, Cleveland City Hall? Now, we all know about what's been going on with the current council person, Joe Jones. And before I get started, I did reach out to his team and his campaign manager because I wanted to give him the opportunity to talk about what's going on with him. Because here's what gets me, and I keep telling you guys this. It amazes me how nobody opens their mouth when mainstream white media is dragging and dragging and dragging and dragging a black man or a black woman, be it that they need to be dragged or not. But as soon as Kimberly Brown just tap you a little bit, people have an attitude. I can't stand her. I hate her. She shouldn't do that. Yeah, I got your number. I got your number. So tonight is about the bullying that goes on in our region and also downtown Cleveland. I watched a little bit of the press conference that was held by our council president, Mr. Blaine Griffin. And I like Blaine. I've known Blaine since we were 19 years old. And we're both almost 100 because we're senior citizens. I just don't look like it. I sure don't, because I take care of myself. And I don't allow myself to get all stressed and pressed with all that crazy mess. But here's what's getting me about this entire situation. I don't know what Mr. Jones may have done or not done. I just know that back in 2000, the year 2000, we know that he was part of one of the largest corruption schemes here in the city of Cleveland. And we know that during that time, he has had several run-ins with the law, several run-ins with residents, several run-ins with partners downtown. This is what we know because it's been all over the news. And we also know that one of the most fascinating, interesting terms that people will use now, anytime anytime you will not allow them to manipulate you or abuse you, we always use the term bullies or bullying. But my question is, I know about some bullying behaviors with other city council people, and nobody says anything. And keep in mind, I'm definitely not taking up for this cat. But what I do believe, I believe that fair is always fair. And I'm always going to stay on the side of being fair. Now, remember a couple of months ago, there was a situation regarding allegations against Mr. Jones, and they were saying that he allegedly was disrespecting women. And it's very disheartening right now because when I look at the situation that has happened over the last 24, 48 hours, I see the outrage about what's happening now, but I didn't see the outrage when he was accused of bullying women and harassing women and touching women. I did not see the council president on TV talking about censoring him at that particular time. So every woman should be outraged. Every single woman. When it comes to women, they still treat us all like crap. The city of Cleveland, they got a commission called the Black Women Commission of what? Women and Girls. When this stuff was going down, nobody said a damn thing. And they got a women's commission. Something's wrong with this picture. The other thing that gets me is when this situation happened with Jones and the women, you had people like Councilperson Anthony Harrison, Councilman Richard Starr, who was supporting Jones' nonsense. They were sending text messages. Remember those text messages that was reported by, I think it was Signal Cleveland? And they were talking about how Destination Cleveland was not going to get anything because of what they brought forth about Mr. Jones. Isn't that bullying, you guys? Isn't that a form of threatening people? Isn't that using your seat to stop progress in the city? Where was the outrage? Where was the press conference? I remember last year when I was at Zelma George, and this is my fault, when Deborah Gray aggressively bumped into me. What I should have done, I should have gone downtown and I should have made a complaint. And I should have filed a police report. But come see, come saw. I was on somebody else's time. But I know one damn thing, it better not happen again. She was given a pass and everybody knows about it. I remember several months ago when they were saying that Councilman Polensik, he called Mr. Houston out his name. A lot of people were upset. Well, upset. They were upset. I wasn't upset, but they were upset. Because I just thought that Mr. Polensik was defending himself against Mr. Houston. Because really they were attacking each other. And aggression breeds aggression. So the point I'm making is this. We know that stuff happens. We don't know the whole story. And I think that out of fairness, people need to listen to all three sides. His side, their side, and God's side. And again, I'm not taking up for anybody. The outrage is simply this. There's a lot of bullying that goes on in city council. There's a lot of bullying that goes on from the mayor's seat. And I'm just not talking about Cleveland. I'm talking about around the country, but definitely in this region. If you don't do what they say, they start giving you alternatives. They want to give you options. They want to call your job. And they want to say stupid stuff to try to get you terminated. All that is a form of bullying. So if you're going to be outraged about one situation, be outraged about all the situations that fall under the umbrella of bullying Brown on Cleveland. But let's look at Cleveland Ward 1 for a second. Here's what's been bothering me for the last 24 hours. When all these things, all these situations, all these stories start coming out in the news, I don't care. You go to Newsbreak, Channel 5, 319, Cleveland.com, Signal, Ideal Stream, whatever the case may be. Blah, blah, blah. My phone was ringing. Did you hear about Jones? Did you hear about Jones? Did you hear about Jones? And here's the funny part about all this. As people are calling me, asking me, did I hear about Jones? Of course I did, because I'm in media. I just refuse to write about it. I don't write about things like that. And I told you guys that from the beginning. I'm going to let them other folks drag folks. I'm not going to drag them that way. Let them do it. Let them have a party time with them. You know why? Because you're so quick to run to them. But those are the same people who will put a knife in your neck. But you're so quick to run, so run on. But people are calling me, right? And they're asking me, Brown, have you heard about it? Absolutely. And then in the same sentence, they'll say, well, who are you going to support? First of all, none of your business, number one. And number two, if you're a candidate calling me, it's not going to be you. It's not going to be you. It's not. Because if you're running on his behavior rather than your merit, you're not qualified to serve anyway. And I'm going to say it again. If the candidates in Cleveland Ward 1, if they're running on Jones' behavior rather than their own sweat equity, their own merit, they're not qualified to serve any who. So let's look at every candidate. Yeah, I'm going here tonight. And I know a couple of weeks ago, I said I was just going to stay out of Ward 1's mess, but I live here. I live here. And I'm looking at every single candidate. So let me start off by saying this first. Where I live in Cleveland Ward 1, a lot of people know. They know. I don't care. The only candidates who walked down my street and knocked on the doors was the only one. It wasn't several, it was just one. Was Lalisa Jones Dollar. She was the only one bold enough to walk down my street and knock on doors. Everybody else, I think they wanted to stay up, past that Harvard, around that area close to Warrensville. But nobody want to come down here because they call this the lower part of Cleveland Ward 1. Nobody else. When they started campaigning, and it looks like really only one person is campaigning, and that's Mr. Jones. Not only did he send one piece of literature, he sent two, he sent three. Now I'm on my fourth piece. You talk about his behavior. So while you guys are talking about his behavior, this man, his team last night, as I was driving through Cleveland Ward 1 today, it looks like they was up putting up yard signs. So I don't know if people are really paying these news stories any attention, or if they're trying to give him another pass to save that ASS. I have no idea. I just know his stuff is popping up like dandelions, and you guys are running on his behavior, but not on your merit. So we know about all of the negative stuff about Jones. Y'all know, I know. We know about that. But let's talk about you. What have you done? What skeletons do you have in your closet while you're running on his behavior? Let's talk about your merits. So the first candidate I'm going to look at is Alwyn Bridges. Alwyn Bridges. Alwyn Bridges is a military guy. I believe he served, I believe it was the Navy. I'm not certain, but I know he's a veteran. Also know that he's an older guy in the community that loves to call Mr. Jones council boy. Also know that if you talk to Mr. Bridges, he will spend 90% of his time talking about Jones and 10% of his time talking about how he got the plain Dealer endorsement the last time. He sure enough did, but how did that work out for him? Because he didn't make it to the next step. I did, but that's a moot point. But Mr. Bridges could probably make a great council person if he was not distracted by the ill wills of Mr. Jones. Because as long as you talk negative about him, it's a turnoff for people like me. The man is very educated, and I'm talking about Mr. Bridges. However, when he speaks to people, he speaks to you like you don't have any common sense. So he needs to change some direction to get some correction if he wants to make it to the second phase, Brown on Cleveland. I'm giving him a look, a close look, but I have not made my decision yet. Then let's go to Mark Crosby. Mark Crosby and his wife, they've been in the community a long time. I believe they raised their children in this community. Don't care, don't care, don't care. Mark Crosby is a business owner. You guys know that he's that popcorn guy, popcorn guy, popcorn guy. He used to have a shop up here in the city of Shaker on Chagrin. Popcorn is really good, I must say. He appears to be dedicated to the community. However, I have not seen enough work in the community from this guy. But the reason why I cannot support him, and I have to put my pause on him as far as looking at him, is because of his wife. His wife, and this is just my opinion, almost reminds me of the lady who's married to the mayor over in Cleveland Heights. Just because your spouse is running for a position, that does not mean that the spouse should take a leadership role in their campaign. Because what I'm finding out is that a lot of these spouses are messing up for their husbands and wives because the spouses are talking too damn much. And people don't like that. I'm also concerned about some of the things that I've heard about the spouse saying about Brown on Cleveland. I do know that my business was attacked. And I heard this, and this is one of the reasons why I pulled my company from their felling form that was not successful. So a word to Mark Crosby is this: if you're going to run your race, don't run it on Jones' behavior, run it on your merit, and ask your wife to please be quiet, and maybe you'll have a chance. Brown on Cleveland, yes, I said it, and I ain't taking it back. The other person I want to look at is Lalisa Jones Dollar. Now, she comes out of that I believe that back Miles, Ohio neighborhood. She is a community leader. But the issue that I have is that still a lot of people don't know her. And she got to get out there on those doors and become more visible. I like her family. Her husband is 100%. And what I like about this spouse is this: he's not the one doing the talking for her. She's doing the talking for herself and telling people what her platform is. And again, I have to shake my pom-poms, shake my pom-poms, shake my damn pom-poms for her, because thus far, she has been the only candidate to knock on the doors on the street where I reside and the surrounding areas, which tells me this: yes, she's concerned about that upper part of Harvard, but at the same time, she's not ignoring the lower part of Harvard. So in her eyes, and what I can see, is that she's concerned about everybody in Cleveland Ward 1. And Cleveland Ward 1 needs a council person who's going to be concerned about the collective whole and not their family, not their friends. They're not involved in some type of clique, some type of trick. We need somebody who's really going to pay attention to everything that's happening in this community. And I believe that if Dollar Jones, Jones Dollar, get out there and hit them doors, she'll be the person who actually make the playoffs. I truly believe that. I do. The other person in the race is State Rep Juanita Brent. I am not a fan at all. What's going on around Cleveland Ward 1 is she just needs a job. See, because she's going to be termed out from being a state rep. So the question is, what is she going to do? What is she going to do? What is she going to do? So my question is, if you were concerned about Cleveland Ward 1, how come you haven't done really anything in Cleveland Ward 1? I don't want somebody who just want a job. When I was on Lee Road today, and I was thinking about these candidates, and it really bothers me because, again, if you listen to this podcast, you know for a fact that Kimberly F. Brown, I cannot stand filth. I cannot stand filth. We got 5 people running for council person of Cleveland Ward 1. And 4 of them, they're so concerned about his behavior. But I'm concerned about their merit to see who's going to get to the next level. And with all of the trash and debris on Lee Road, not one of them have taken the initiative to go out there with a broom, a dustpan, trash bags, no nothing. But you want to represent the ward? But here's the thing. Don't you guys think you should lead by example? It's filthy. And if it's filthy now under him, it's going to be filthy tomorrow under you. Why? It's not a priority. Clean and safe neighborhoods matter. And nobody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about, you see what happened to Jones? Yeah, we see that. He been in office. He got in trouble in 2000. Okay, we know that. He disrespect women. He disrespect, yeah, some women. We know that too. But what do you do? What have you done? What's in your closet? And when I look at Brent, here's what really gets me about her. Are you guys familiar with Elliot Forehand? Did you guys pay attention when Mr. Forehand was trying to retain his state seat as a state rep? I believe it was District 20. I think it was District 20, District 21. Don't hold me for that because I could be making a mistake. But they ran a lynch mob on Elliot Forehand. And she had gone to the media and she made a lot of accusations about this white man, saying that he had come to her house, and this is all court records, this is not Kimberly Brown, and he had threatened her and all this stuff, and a neighbor saw him park his F-150 down the street, and they were saying it was very odd for a white man to walk through Cleveland Ward 1. Well, here's the thing. We got a lot of white folks who live over here in Cleveland Ward 1, number one. Number two, Elliot Forehand does not drive an F-150, none of that stuff. And she was telling people how, originally she had him on her camera, and she was going to produce all this information, about Elliot Forehand. And then when they went to court, she could not produce the evidence of anything. And Mr. Forehand ended up winning his case, and she came off looking like a person who does not tell the truth. I still have issues with that. I don't believe in making allegations against someone. I just don't believe that. Because here's what I do know, and I don't know 100% of that story. This is just part of the story that still is concerning for me. And I don't know if she listens. I know somebody gonna tell her, and Kim Brown don't give a damn. But I want to give her the opportunity to come inside the little hut and explain herself if she would like to. Because right now, the way I see it is that this dude was accused of things and she made allegations. And I know he got this big lawsuit against her, Allison Russell, and other people of the Democratic Party, Brock and all them guys, because they slandered him, and they defamed his name, and it was just crazy. It's crazy. He lost a lot of businesses because of these allegations. I mean, it was crazy during that election. But it reminded me of Emmett Till. If we can go back to I think it was 1955. I think it was 1955, if I'm not mistaken, when the 14-year-old went to Money, Mississippi, to visit his uncle and his aunt, and he went into a store, and the lady of the store, who was, I guess, the owner of the store, her husband owned the store. She's 21 years old. She told her husband that 14-year-old Emmett Till had been, I guess, flirting with her, whatever the case may be. Long story short, I think the lady's name was Carolyn Bryant. She didn't tell the truth, and the husband and his brothers, they went to the uncle's house, and they drug Emmett Till out to bed, and they killed this young man, all because of a lie. And before Carolyn Bryant, before she passed, she told the truth. But at the end of the day, this guy, the baby, he lost his life because of a lie. So when I look at the situation between Juanita Brent and Elliot Forehand, I just know that if colorism played a part, if he was black and she was white, all hell would have broke loose in the black community, and we would have been out there marching, calling, no justice, no peace, and we'd have done everything in our power to bring out the truth. But because it's a little different, we didn't do that, and I'm still trying to figure out, what happened. What happened? Did the state rep? Did she lie on Elliot Forehand? What happened? He won his case. The judge, she couldn't produce evidence, you guys. This is not me. This is court records. So I cannot stand behind Juanita Brent because of that situation. I can't. No. Because if the man wins his lawsuit, and the court records documentation tells you a lot about that case, what will you what will you do or won't you do? And again, let me put this disclaimer out. I don't know 100% about that case, what happened. All I know is what's documented in the court records. So it's not slander, it's not libel, it's not defamation of character, it's what's in the court records. So I am going to ask Cleveland Ward 1 residents, Google the case of Elliot Forehand. Google the case of Juanita Brent and Elliot Forehand. Read the court records for yourself before you decide to shake your pom-poms for somebody. And we don't know what happened with that case. Elliot Forehand was on my show 1, 2, 3 times. And the guy is not the guy that they said he is to be. No. There's something wrong with that picture. This is why I don't do politics. I do people. People. Many lives have been destroyed because of lies. And black people, we know that more than anybody. But if you want to do the reverse, I can't rock with you. I can't rock with you at all. The other thing that bothers me about Cleveland Ward 1 are these damn endorsements. Everybody wants an endorsement. You can't get my endorsement. No, ain't rolling that way. I remember that damn Elizabeth Sullivan that a lot of y'all bow down to. who works for the Cleveland Plain Dealer, and she leads the endorsement process. I remember her telling Cleveland Ward 1 last time that Joe Jones was a nice guy. He could be a nice guy, and that he deserved to stay in that seat because all Brown wanted to do was clean up the neighborhood. She told y'all ain't too bright, that y'all deserve to live in a dirty, filthy, nasty, funky neighborhood, and y'all bought into that shiggity boo. Listen, don't y'all allow that to happen this time. Y'all got to learn how to think and read and do research. The hell with political parties. And yes, Kimberly Brown said it. Sure did. Ain't taking it back. You got to be an independent thinker. Forget about that slate card. Forget about who's running the slate card, especially Maple Heights. Y'all following Blackwell. Y'all either going to jail or hell. Taking down people's banners. That's a sidebar conversation. That's crazy. I don't know if y'all did it or not, but I know one thing. Casper the Unfriendly Ghost ain't taking them down. So I don't know who's doing it, but whoever's doing it, stop. Stop. Nonsense. But you guys are running around here. Everybody want to be endorsed. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means that sometimes when people put their stamp behind you, they want something from you. It means that you are obligated to give something back to certain people. It simply means that maybe now they got a noose around your neck. It simply means that if you don't do what they say, then they mad at you. Or they want to talk crazy about you. Simply means that. If you run your race on your merit, if you run your race on your proven results, if you run your race on your education, if you run your race on your experience, you don't have to worry about the lies. You don't have to worry about being held captive as a slave. You can be an independent thinker and work for your community and get things done. All I know, Cleveland Ward 1 is filthy. It's been ignored. It's crime infested. We know that on Harvard, you constantly have street takeovers. And nobody is having a fit. Nobody is having a press conference about things like that. Nobody is saying, you know what, enough is enough and we got to do something. Nobody, not one damn soul. So y'all continue downtown with all that nonsense and mess. But y'all got bullies, 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 and more bullies down there, sitting down there on city council. And you don't address them. You don't say nothing to them. So yeah, Joe Jones got a mark on his back. But the question is this: are you running on his behavior? Or are you running on your merit? Cleveland Ward 1. We have a decision to make. But let me tell you guys, stop calling my home. Stop calling my cell phone. And do not have my buddies, my friends that I'm real close to, call me on behalf of you. Because it's not going down that way. And one more thing about Juanita Brent, let me say this. I see who's on your team. I see who your treasurer is. You put something in my door, and the mere fact that you rocking with Janet Williams, the same woman who tries to make fun of people with a mental illness and tell lies about people talking about they don't take their medication, you will never get my support simply about and because of who you ride with. Be careful about who you allow to be part of your team, because sometimes you can either gain votes or you can lose votes. But on this case, you lost it. Brown, 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 damn it. My name is Kimberly F. Brown, and I am so, so, so not happy right now. I can't wait for election 2025 to come, was here, but be gone. So I wish a lot of you guys a lot of luck, a lot of success. Run your race and stay out the mess. My name is Kimberly Brown. This podcast was for folk in Cleveland, Ward 1. Rest of y'all mind y'all business because it ain't got nothing to do with this. Show don't. But we got 4 people challenging Mr. Jones. Should he stay? Should he go? Don't know. Don't really care. Listen, Bridges, Crosby, Dollar, and Brent. Stop trying to run on his behavior and run on your merit. Oh, Brown, Brown, Brown. That damn Brown on Cleveland. I gotta go. I gotta go and drive somewhere because I gotta go see how many banners these fools done took down tonight. Yep. Woo. Don't call me. Don't talk to me. Don't say one darn thing. Not at all. But always remember this. You don't have to be a star, baby. Run your race. Run your race and stop making excuses and stop depending on endorsements because it may not work out for you. Brown, Brown, Brown. Brown, Brown, Brown. That damn Brown of Cleveland. Oh, and by the way, if you talk about me, you know damn well I'll talk about you, but I'll tell the truth. You guys have a